Y'all remember that Tupac song, Brenda's Got a Baby? We gonna remix it. It's like, Gemma's got a baby. Listen, I heard Gemma's got a baby, but Jake's barely got a brain. A damn shame that boy could hardly spell his name. That's not a problem. That's up to Gemma's family. Well, let me show you how it affects the whole community. Now, Gemma never really knew her mom, and her dad got beat by Duda. No, I'm just. I'm sorry. I couldn't keep it straight. Oh, now Gemma never really knew her moms, and her dad got beat up by Duda in his palms. I'm sorry. All right, I'm done. Oh God, I'm sorry. All right. Listen. The Shy season 5, episode 7, titled Angels. Oh man, this was a sad episode right here, man. I know I made light of it in the beginning, but that was a sad situation. Spoilers if you didn't see the episode, which you should if you're watching a review of it. Gemma and Jake have lost their baby due to a bad decision on the new kid on the show. He's a scumbag. I cannot stand this kid. I didn't like him on Power, Tommy, and I don't like him here. And I'm guessing this kid is really from Chicago because if you don't know, actors from Chicago get all the act. They are in all the Chicago shows. There's one light skinned guy that's in Chicago PD. He was in another Chicago. He's in the Shy. He used to hang with Ronnie. Actually, it's the same light skinned kid that used to be Ronnie's friend. If you go back and watch that, so he's really from Chicago. So he's in a new Chicago show with the lawyer. The lawyer that had the kid. I'm guessing this kid is really from Chicago. Jabari, that's his name. I'm sorry, I couldn't brain fart. So yeah, Jabari. But anyway, episode starts off with Trig reflecting on his bed. You know, he's keep checking his phone to see if his boyfriend's texting him. To no avail. Then he goes in and talks to Jake, and Jake spills the beans about him and Gemma. And of course, Trig's reaction isn't good. He's kind of upset about it, understandably, and because he's running for assemblyman, councilman, whatever the hell he's running for, and obviously, a teen pregnancy like this can affect his campaign, because first thing they're going to say is, you can't even control your house. How you gonna try to control a community or run a community and you can't even run your house correctly? We also see Gemma having a conversation with her dad, who this guy don't get enough credit, by the way, for being understanding. If I could be a dad, like I need to learn his patience and his understanding. I don't have that yet. That's some Yoda Master Zen type patience this guy. But the conversations and the seeds he put in Gemma's head and supports her, no matter, he lets her make her decisions, which is what for the most part you should be letting them do. You should let them do that, because when you try to control them or keep them away from stuff, that's when they rebel and they'll resent you for it. You have to let certain people fly, and when they fail, you just help them pick them up and try to help them fly the right way, and that's what he does. But to see how supportive he was. And letting her make her own decisions. If obviously, of course, at the beginning, he wasn't for it. He wanted her to, obviously finish school. And that's what I was saying in my last review as well. Gemma's a smart, very intelligent girl. And honestly, I hate to say this, like, I don't think Jake is no good for her. I just think Jake is, he's she can do better. That's what I'll say. Without trying to down another black kid I just think that she can do better. And it was crazy because we went and watched I wanted to how I am about the show The Shy. It's a love-hate relationship with it. I hate it, but I love it at the same time because I know these characters for years. And it's crazy to see how this show has turned from the first 2 seasons. It's a completely different show. But I went back and watched the first 2 seasons, just like certain episodes. So I watched the first episode of the first season, and then I just kind of went in and out about, the seasons up until the third. And it's crazy how the base and the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the core of what these characters are still the same. Jake took Kevin's girl in the big first episode. When he was trying to get into play, Kevin was trying to get the girl. He signed up for the play. He finally gets up, signs, and he asks the girl if she wants to go. She says, "Oh, I'm talking to Jake." And him and Jake getting into a fight. He like, "Oh, you was taking too long." So Jake's been a snake from the beginning. That's just who he is. He's always been that way. So we were all surprised when the Gemma thing happened. A lot of us, because I completely forgot about that. But this dude been a snake from the start. Same thing with Tiff. Tiff was a piece of shit from the start. Remember, she was getting into it with Emmett. She dropped the baby off, and then she was getting into it with the guy. She's fighting this guy in front of the baby. Emmett's coming over to save her. Like, Tiff, from the beginning, has had the same. This has been her DNA from the jump. She's been living in with a dude in a shaky relationship, unstable. Just this is who she been from the start. Why are we mad at Tiff? This is who she's been. How you meet him is how you gonna leave him. That's how it is. So let's go back and watch the first episode, and you won't even be surprised at Tiff's behavior. You just say this is just who she is. This is just why. This is who she's always been. It's the same way. So that's just what it is, man. And then Keisha and Emmett, obviously, they had it's great to see them back together because the first episode they were doing what they needed to do. You could tell they really liked each other. And she threw down some candy. I remember she threw down some granola bars or whatever out the window. He was trying to find a place to live. And it's great watching Emmett's growth too. I will say that. So I just went on a whole rant about some shit that don't even matter. But anyway, we see. Let's cut to the good part. I was talking about Gemma's dad encouraging her. I like that and appreciate that about him. I don't know if that's for better or worse. Anyway, we see Tiff. We see Keisha and Emmett getting hot and heavy. And Tiff decides to walk in, and that was all bad. She still had a key. Why she would still walk in his house, even if she got a key, is beyond me. But that's just probably like a controlling type of thing. But him and Keisha in the joint getting it in, and obviously it's a wedge between Tiff and Keisha now. And Tiff is not messing with Keisha at all. She not jacking her at all. Just looking at her, giving her dirty looks. But Keisha's just still like, I ain't about to walk on eggshells, It is what it is. And then Tiff is still on Emmett's shit about, I guess they got a teacher-parent conference or a meeting about the kid. And she's harping on, you need to get your shit together, blah, blah, blah. We see that Maisha is writing raps, and she got accepted to a college, but I guess she's thinking about not going now. She wants to pursue her music full time. And in her rap, wasn't me, was she dissing Kevin in her rap? That's what it sounded like to me. I could be tripping. Kevin and his lame little sister friend, arguing about girlfriends. And this girl has the sourest attitude for somebody who just got adopted into a household. She's jealous of Kevin and his relationship with his girlfriend, but she just always got a little scowl on her face. She like, dude, smile. You know what I mean? Cost you nothing. We see that Shad and Deja are taking it to the next step. She's introducing Shad to her parents, but she wants him to conceal his criminal record, which to me I thought was I didn't like that because listen, who he was isn't who he is today, so he shouldn't have to hide that. And obviously we saw what happened later at the dinner table. But I knew from the jump that was going because listen, Shad is who he is. I'm not going to say he's not the smartest tool in the shed. He just is who he is unapologetically. He's willing to learn. He's willing to try to better himself. But he is who he is. He's a flawed person. He understands that. He knows that about himself, and he accepts who he is, and he doesn't try to erase his past. He just uses his past to better his future, and that's all you can really ask for from somebody. So for her to try to get him to hide that, that's just not him being true to himself. That's why when he slipped up at the dinner table, I was like, this nigga a retard. But then I'm thinking like, no, he really not. He just being honest. He just talking about who he is. And I love the fact how he stood his ground and was just like, yo, listen, I don't care what y'all say. I love this woman. Y'all not going to deter me from her. It is what it is. And the father was like, bravo, son. Like that, because he understands that. He probably feel the same way I do. This dude is owning his mistake that he did, and he not using it as an excuse or a crutch as to why he's not doing something. He's using it as a crutch to become something better, man. And that's all you could. That's dope to me. And why was Deja? She grown as hell. She gotta be 50. She look every bit of 50. Why are you tiptoeing and worry about what the hell your parents say and your little sister? And your sister sitting there with no man at all and got the nerve to kind of. I'm like, yo, ain't no way, ain't no fucking way. We see Keisha struggling at school with the baby and trying to do her schoolwork. And I didn't think about this problem because I thought her and Emmett were, kind of over what they were doing. I thought they just had a program or a system, but they weren't. It lets you know they weren't really not on it that type of vibe yet. So she's going through it, man. She's trying. So she goes down to the dean's office, and she's trying to figure out. And the lady's trying to encourage her to move back home, but obviously, she doesn't have her room anymore, so that's not possible. So she says, "I got other plans, and we already know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be her asking Emmett." And I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go because Emmett already got a bunch of kids. Adding this into the fray, we'll see how it goes. Tiff and Emmett are at the school having this conference, and this is the clip that got released earlier, and this is a mess, dude. From the gate, Tiff's taking shots at Emmett. Emmett's playing right into the game instead of just staying professional or trying to. They just looking a whole fucking hot mess in front of this teacher. Not like United Front, or not even. They don't even gotta look like United Front, but just look more attentive to your kid, because that's who it's about. And she's bringing up stuff like who I'm fucking or who I'm doing has nothing to do with the situation at hand. But that's just Tiff, dude. She's fucking. It's crazy how you could go from hating a character to liking her and then hating her again. You just like, oh man, she's a good actress because she had you up there. You be feeling for him and like, hey, the restraint that brother has. Because a lot of niggas would have went up right upside her head. I'm going to be honest with you. We see that Deja gets Shad a suit. He gets cut up and, he looks super nice. And you can tell she likes Shad. You see how she be looking at that dude? You can tell Jason Weaver, I don't know if he been working out, but he no homo. He looks good for his age and who he is. And I'm glad to see Jason Weaver back in the spotlight, because Jason Weaver, to me, that's Michael Jackson. He played Michael Jackson when he was younger, so that's how I always remember him. And then on Smart Guy and ATL, of course. So to see him back in another role, I don't know. I just think shit like that is dope, man. You know what I mean? He put time in, man. He really put time, and his character could have been just a one and done, because last season they really had too much from him. And to see his character has a whole arc now and whatnot, I just think is dope. We see Kevin is at this gaming thing, and he brings Lene and Simone, and they don't like each other, but with all combined, her with her spiritual and her, his other sister friend with her skills that she taught him, he winds up winning. And he winds up splitting the profits or giving her a percentage of the profits, which turn out to not having anything for himself. But him and his girlfriend and his sister friend have decided to combine and become friends. And now he's wondering, like, oh, man, if this was a good idea or not. And I don't really like what they don't. They don't really have nothing for Kevin to do this season, and that's disheartening because those three kind of were the heart and soul of the show. Was Kevin, Jake, and Papa's dynamic. Papa is completely, his role is reduced significantly to one scene. I think this whole episode. Jake doesn't even get as much screen time. So I'm like, damn, dude. And you watch the earlier seasons, this show revolved around them. Them and Emmett. Let me see what else we got here. Trig and his fake wife have decided to, not decided, but it seemed like they're starting to fall for each other a little bit. And listen, I would love to see Trig pursue this. You know what I'm saying? Homegirl is obviously a beautiful woman. She's melanin endowed. And something different for him. He keeps trying to go down these loopholes to where he has to hide his identity and be who he is, but he needs to just try to be with his sister. Just try it, you might like it, but it seemed like she's starting to like him, and vice versa. And he's like, "Are you flirting with me?" They're sitting at the table, and they're discussing the teen pregnancy with Jake, and she's it seemed like he's gonna be taking that down sometime in the near future. We'll see what happens though. Shad finally goes to the dinner table, and this is what I discussed earlier. The parents are giving him the third degree, and the pops is kind of asking him, "You want to neat?" And this is what I'm saying. Shad is just a simple man. He don't know about none of that shit. Neat, like he don't know. He don't fucking know about half the shit. And sure enough, he just tries to go with flow. But things kind of boil out at the table, and he winds up winning them over in the long run. So kudos to Shad. What else we got here? We see that Tiff and Emmett decide to, they're trying to figure out the schedule where they could best hope their son will read in and the things he need help with. And Emmett kind of has a heart-to-heart with her where he tells her, "Listen, I want to franchise Smokies. I want something to leave for my sons. That's my goal. I want to get 3 different locations, and I can leave them to my 3 different boys." And she's like, you never told me that. And he was just like, I ain't never really get the chance to. Like, this is how quick our marriage was. I never got to fucking tell you anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like Tiff is having some resentment about her decision, which I think we saw in the next preview for the next episode. And that's what it is. When people see you with somebody or see you happy or see you on your shit with somebody else, they start to resent and want you back. Like, damn, you know what? I didn't see the potential in him. Or, maybe he made a mistake and not taking into account, like, he made that mistake and he fessed up about the mistake when he didn't have to. That's right there is mature and growth. Even though I was like, it's stupid as fuck, that does show mature and growth, and that shows that he did care about her feelings. And, how she reacted wasn't wrong, but now it's just, it's life. Now she see him like, okay, well, like you said, you moved on and want to be happy. I can move on and be happy as well. We see Papa and Bakari. I don't know why I said Jabari. Bakari go to see Maisha perform, which is what Gemma was helping with earlier too in the episode. And Maisha took it as like criticism, but Jenna, like she's like, "Yo, I'm just trying to help you out. You need stage presence." So she helped her out with that. We see Bakari is all over Lene. He like, "Yo, who is this right here?" And I'm like, listen, I be rooting for Bakari, but then he just do some stupid shit. You like, well, that went out the window quick. You know what I'm saying? He gets into it with the security at the door for whatever reason. The security, it's just security. And, Papa's trying to tell him to shrug it off. And, of course, he doesn't. And as Maisha's performing, he goes and decides to fuck with security again. And not only that, he got a gun in him. How he got a gun on him, I don't know. Did he not pat him down? That's fucking stupid. Why wouldn't you pat him down? Shots get fired. Gemma gets trampled. And we see that she winds up losing the baby, which was sad. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is crazy. Same time, we see Trig goes to see his boyfriend. And she comes out, and she is obviously has somebody in the house. And, you know, Trey's just like, and she's like, well, we not exclusive, so shit, I could do what the fuck I want to do. And Trey's like, yeah, you know what, you're right. You know, you obviously can tell he's hurt because he did like this person. But he just, you know, it is what it is. He just like, okay, and, you know, it is what it is. You know, Trey got to understand, like, he just got our relationship. He need to not just jump back into something. He need to just play the field for a little bit and see what happens. We see Keisha asks Emmett about moving in. And yo, when they zoomed in on Emmett's face, I'm like, uh-oh. He about to say, he looks like, hell no, that's what his face looked like. But then he was just like, I think that'd be a good idea. I was like, oh, you listen, man, I love Kemet, man. And I told you that's my nickname for him, Kemet. I love Kemet, man. They perfect for each other, dude. At the end of the season, my goal is to see Emmett propose to Keisha. And, you know, they go on to live happy ever after and make, you know, melanated brown babies. So at the same time, you know, we see Gemma is in the hospital with Jake. Jake comes to visit her, and you know, he figure out what's happened. He's mad, but he goes and, you know, when he went and laid with Gemma at the hospital, it was sad, man. And then seeing her dad cry once she once they were at the house, he was downstairs crying. I was, oh man, I just know how that feel as a dad, dude. That shit has gotta be heartbreaking. You get what I'm saying? Papa obviously is going down like a dark road for whatever reason. I don't know why. Kevin is walking his girlfriend home. You know, they having a heart to heart. Shad and Trig are discussing their day and you know how things went, and you know how, you know, what they could do to kind of better themselves, and you know, just telling, you know, obviously Shad is flourishing in his love life, and Trig isn't doing so good right now, so it is what it is. At the same time, we see Jake come home, and he's upset, and we see when Bakari comes home, he you know, he punches the shit out. He started beating up Bakari, and they kick him out. And then Bakari goes to Papa's house, and Papa let his ass in. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, yo, I do not like what they doing with Papa this season, because that's just not right at all. And this Bakari kid, I don't know what's going on with him in this season. I really don't get it, man. I don't know what they doing with this kid. All in all, listen, great episode. I liked it. If you like my review, do me a favor. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get my notifications when my videos happen. You know, I do all the reviews for all of the hottest shows, Power, blah, blah, blah. I just be having a lot going on, so it's hard to get in my YouTube bag like I was. But if you start subscribing and watching my videos and sharing them more, I have a reason to come back on here and do these more often. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Post your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe. Peace.